We are talking about the situation in Kashmir. The question being raised is the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah losing his grip on the valley? And of course, we were just talking about that, Mr. Jha, before we went into a break. Will, at this point, the Chief Minister stepping down make any difference? A, and B, should he step down, considering there have been a spate of civilian deaths?
Now, Manish Tiwari made a very important point. There is a generalized point which is called moral hazard.
Yes.
If you give in to something that is basically going against a process,
right,
then you encourage people to break the process over and over again. So let me say straight away that if there is any way in which one can, by a set of steps, short of killing unarmed youth,
right,
restore peace in the valley and start the process of reintegration of Kashmiris into their own society and the larger Indian society, please go ahead and do it. My worry is that it's now too late. It may be necessary to give a fresh start to Kashmir, and in that I don't think it's not going to be enough. Let me assure you, it's not going to be enough for simply this government to be either dismissed or to resign and to give governor's rule. There's got to be a package of measures which includes a hard look and reduction in the scope of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. It includes the Disturbed Areas Act, reduction
right,
of this thing, because and maybe release of prisoners, question of amnesty to former militants, which has still not been formally done. There are all kinds of things that have to be looked at. You need a package, and if in that package you can, it is necessary to have a fresh election, by all means do it, but to give Kashmir a fresh start. The advantage is, I don't believe that the Masrat Alam and the hard right in Kashmir are going to accept this. The moment that you try to do this, they will redouble their efforts to
right,
create problems. But
right,
the point is, if you have a political alternative of this kind, ordinary Kashmiris who don't want to go down this road, and they are the vast majority, will say, look, these are the troublemakers.
That's
Today they are not given that choice. They're being forced to support the troublemakers because innocent youth, innocent means unarmed youth, are being killed.
That's a fair point, Mr. Jha. Mr. Singh, what are your thoughts? The anger in Kashmir seems to be much bigger than being aimed at just one man. Would it make a difference if Omar steps down?
Most of my political and intellectual friends in Delhi and around, they have lost touch with what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. And I must tell you, in democracy, the cardinal principles are acceptance, will of the people. And National Conference, Congress government has lost both. My old friend Mr. Tiwari was mentioning that this will be against democracy. What happened when Indira ji got Farooq Abdullah removed? He had not completed even 14 months in office. 84, I was MLA. Well, what happened when G.M. Shah was removed? He had not completed 20 months. Well, what happened when Sheikh Abdullah himself was removed by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who had completed only 2 years in 53? The principle is country, the nation, the security of the entire nation. Today, national security is at stake. Right. Omar Abdullah government has become a national security threat. Let Delhi act. If they do not want to act,
right,
I must tell you, principal victim shall be the Indian National Congress in the coming election,
right,
if they don't act.
Let me in fact go across to Mr. Nizamuddin Bhatt on that one. In fact, Mirwais Omar Farooq has gone on record to say that his problem is not really Omar Abdullah, his problem is New Delhi. Do you think that Omar's resignation at this point in time will have any impact in light of the feeling that is there right now in Kashmir?
You see, let me first respond to what the observations made by Bhim Singh, that one or the other government has been removed at one or another time. I don't buy that. Those were popular governments and were removed, and those are seen here in Kashmir as mistakes of the central government. This time the bigger mistake of the central government is that they don't understand and gauge the public mood. All that is happening in streets is turned a deaf ear. We have been hearing voices that even Prime Minister, who had a reputation in Kashmir, that he is so kind enough to Kashmiris, he is a generous politician, He rises above petty politics and addresses human issues. Even he is being accused of turning a deaf ear and is seen as an insensitive prime minister this time. So many deaths have taken place. A government is in place. You are discussing democratic options. What is a democratic option? A democratic option always is that whenever there is an upsurge, a public hue and cry, that's heard and understood. That is considered. A concern is shown. Kashmir, it's not this time alone that there is a hue and cry.
Right.
We have been misunderstood at various times. Let somebody understand us. We don't want to make it an issue of PDP and National Conference. That will be an unfortunate thing to do.
Right.
We want to be heard. Our people should be heard who are getting killed.
Fair point, Mr. Butt.
Who are raising voice from children, women.
You made a point, Mr. Butt. Let me go across to Mr. Manish Tiwari. A lot of the criticism against the National Conference and the government at the centre has been the fact that they have not really got an understanding of what's going on in the valley. For example, Omar Abdullah called the agitators anti-social elements. The Home Minister Chidambaram went on to compare the protesters to the Lashkar-e-Toiba. This gives a sense that perhaps the centre is really out of its depth while it's dealing with the situation in Kashmir. How would you respond to that?
Well, I am not going to respond to generalized observations, about the centre or the Omar Abdullah government being out of sync with the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. My concern is circumscribed by the fact that expressing compassion doesn't only get circumscribed by either resignation of governments or their removal. So therefore, I think that there is a need to really look beyond that, because the moment you predicate the entire argument on either resignation or removal, it becomes very clear that there is a political agenda being pushed. People who unfortunately were not able to get the numbers to form a government are not comfortable with an arrangement which is going to continue for the next 4.5 years. So therefore, every possible means are being used to exploit an unfortunate situation, and I'm not running away from that situation, to see as to how that can be dovetailed into either getting the government to resign or getting it removed. My question is, does the removal of the government or the resignation of the government solve the fundamental problem which is there on the ground?
Right, Mr. Jha, I'd like you to, and of course Mr. Singh also, to respond to that very quickly. Where has Omar Abdullah failed? It is said that a Kashmiri politician's excessive dependence on the centre tends to go against him as far as the connection with the masses go in Kashmir.
Well, first, Omar, and I really feel sorry about this, started with all the dice loaded against him. Look at the election in 2008 December. It took place after a crackdown. A blockade against Kashmir Valley by Jammu, which was not punished in Jammu, but led to 60 deaths in Kashmir to start off with, straight away in the fruit growers march. After that, months of curfew in Kashmir before this election took place. The election itself took place under curfew. It took place when every single moderate leader of the separatists was kept in jail. And of course Gilani, no question about that. I'm saying not just Gilani, but also all the moderates. It was in that situation with a boycott, the PDP with 4 or 6% more vote had 1 seat fewer, because in 10 or 11 urban constituencies the boycott was near total, and the National Conference was the greater beneficiary of the boycott, and won by a few hundred votes. From the Kashmiri, sometimes as low as 50 votes. From the Kashmiri point of view, this was anything but a normal election. So Omar started off with a situation where there's enormous skepticism and doubt about him. Then what happens? Before he even had a chance to settle down, you have that Shopian episode.
Yes.
Now, I personally believe, and I believe the CBI report, but the question is not that. The question is, it was capitalized upon by the discontented people.
Correct.
Omar did not know how to handle it, and it just snowballed. And there were 3 or 4 other episodes which, in fact, the media and people just built up there.
Yeah.
So you see, he had that problem. Then we get Machil,
where
3 people are killed in cold blood by the army, and all that's happened is after that, he has followed the wrong tactics.
Yes.
Or rather his government has,
Right.
in dealing with the ensuing protests. And so the stone pelters, who were a fringe element, suddenly
they've got
became
more
center
momentum.
stage.
Yeah,
and then they began being killed. And that is completely unforgivable.
Right.
You must understand one thing.
Yes.
Let me please, just last two sentences. You see, and I know I'm taking time, I'm sorry. The thing is, one is, no way can you justify using bullets against people who use stones. I know that those guys are very ferocious.
That's a fair point,
One,
Mr.
but
Jha.
it's a perception issue. Second one is, in the end, you have to ask yourself this: why are you so afraid of democracy?
All right, that's a very fair point. Very quickly, Mr. Jha, where do you think Umar Abdullah is, Mr. Singh, I'm sorry, where do you think Umar Abdullah is going?
Number one, I do not agree with Mr. Jha. He says that Jammu people blocked the highway. That's totally wrong.
All right.
We never blocked it. It was a situation.
Right.
Number one. Number two, schools are closed. Hospitals are closed for the past 45 days. Everything is closed.
Right.
And one gentleman stands up and says that city will remain closed and everything is closed. And the
Okay.
government has to clamp curfew. There is no governance in Jammu and Kashmir.
No governance.
No governance. And I think the honorable way for the young chief minister is only
Right.
to walk out. If he doesn't,
All right.
I'll tell the governor. Governor use section 92. We do not need Constitution of India.
Okay, okay, that
And,
seems to be
and
the
I
consensus.
think if you want peace there, if you want India's interest to survive in Jammu and Kashmir, NC Congress government
All right.
has to go.
All right, we're totally out of time on the discussion, but thank you very much, Mr.